Hello and thanks for joining us for the Midday News Update. As part of ongoing budget support to the Solomon Islands, Prime Minister James Marape has renewed Papua New Guinea's commitment to Solomon Islands with the announcement of another 100 million kina over the next 5 years starting in 2026. He made this announcement following his bilateral meeting with the Solomon Islands Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele in Port Moresby yesterday.
Papua New Guinea has been offering support to Solomon Islands when needed, including the Pacific Games in 2023, the engagement of our PNGC officers during Solomon Island elections, and the support in the education space where Solomon Island students are given privileges to study in PNG institutions, among others. The PNG government has also been providing budget support to Solomon Islands over the years, and the announcement yesterday is the renewal of this ongoing support with 20 million kina to be paid each year over 5 years, starting in 2026.
I want to also indicate Papua New Guinea despite our own needs in our country, we do offer support to Solomon Islands where we can. And so this evening, we reaffirmed our commitment every year, 20 million kina worth of support to Solomon Islands for the next 5 years, starting 2026 to 2030.
He said this money is given to them freely with no strings attached, and is also a way to recognize Solomon Islands' trade relationship with PNG.
This has been running for some time. Next 6 years was really. I have the trade statistics here with me. Last year we sold, or this year, or last year, 2023, we sold over 119 million kina worth of products to Solomon Island market. So look, we make money from the economy too. So, and going forward into the future, when company grows, this help we give to our brothers and sisters from Solomon Islands and others goes with no strings attached and no obligations. These are our brothers and sisters. We feel obliged to also reach out and help. So we've been having this program running. It's a budget support for them.
Solomon Islands Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele thanked the PNG government and Prime Minister Marape for his support, noting the good gesture PNG has offered despite its own challenges.
We appreciate the renewal of the 20 million kina per year arrangement, and we look forward to the conclusion of that, and its start in 2026. I know as a country, as a government, you have competing priorities, you have your own needs as well, but we have decided to reach out and help other small island countries within our region, including Solomon Islands. So, Prime Minister, thank you for your compassion and your kind thoughts in terms of supporting Solomon Islands as well as other small island countries in the region.
Prime Minister Marape also opened doors in the health sector for Solomon Island citizens to access specialist health services in PNG at very low cost instead of going overseas.
Cancer facility, kidney facilities, heart facilities is ticked off for our country, and not only us, but we are extending that facility services to our sisters and brothers in the Pacific, and of course Solomon Islands closest. Anytime you have those need, other places they charge you over. Papua New Guineans go to Philippines or Singapore over 200,000 kina or 300,000 kina. Right now in our own country, under 5,000 kina have been addressed. So same cost applies to one Solvaras in all our Pacific Island countries.
The Solomon Islands Prime Minister arrived yesterday in the country for a 2-day visit, where he was welcomed by a guard of honor at the airport, followed by a courtesy call to the Governor-General, Grand Chief Sir Bob Dadae, and a bilateral with Prime Minister Marape to end the day. A One Sol Prime Minister's Charity Golf Challenge is being hosted at the Palm Golf Club, where the two Prime Ministers are participating before Manele returns to Honiara later today. Ruth Rungula, TVWAN News.
In Tabubil, a dream more than 30 years in the making has taken to the skies. Landowners of the 12 mine villages have launched Milum Aviation, an airline they now own outright. Our reporter has the story of how unity, persistence, and partnership brought this vision to life.
It is a proud moment for the people of the Star Mountains. The launch of Milum Aviation marks the first time Mine Village landowners have secured full ownership of an airline. 3 Dash 8 aircraft purchased for over 30 million kina were unveiled in Tabubil, with celebrations drawing landowners, government leaders and business partners.
Supporting our local business will be, especially MRSM and Orchestral Trust, more investment. Before
the milestone is the result of years of planning under the Oktedi Landowners Royalty Trust and the Milum Group of companies. Leaders say the investment will ease long-standing travel challenges, create jobs and bring direct economic benefits to over 7,000 beneficiaries.
Go through the session, if we finish it, and balance it will make money for us.
For Chairman Henry Asakim, the message is clear. The landowners' future lies in business, not politics. Alongside the Dash 8 aircraft, plans are already underway for 2 additional 300 series planes, one to service international routes to Cairns and Brisbane, and another for domestic flights across Papua New Guinea.
You mean a partnership one time, 3 Dash 8 aircraft? No! We 100% on the Dash 8 aircraft.
As the aircraft named Ilimbit Dream, Asakim Pride and De Souza Spirit take to the skies, landowners say this milestone is more than transport. It is a symbol of independence, unity and generational opportunity. Milum Aviation is now set to serve communities across PNG and beyond. For the mine villages of the Star Mountains, this is more than an airline. It is their future, owned and flown by their own hands. Carol Kidu Jr., TVWAN News.
Kedi Ilimbit, Managing Director and CEO of Oktedi Mining, credited the collective determination of the 12 mine villages and their trustees for making the airline a reality. The introduction of Milum Aviation is expected to alleviate chronic flight shortages for Tabubil residents and create new economic opportunities for local landowners. The airline will operate alongside Oktedi's charters, offering new travel options and strengthening the region's transportation infrastructure.
Owning an aircraft, this big, it's a good story for us. For those who have made it happen to own this aircraft, I want to thank you. That it's the 12 mine villages who said yes to their local trustees. I sit out there as a board of directors of Milum, but I had to convince them that Milum is the right model for us to take a royalty trust to the next stage.
In news overseas, a Queensland magistrate has refused to authorise a pro-Palestinian march across the Story Bridge in Brisbane on Sunday. Police opposed the rally due to public safety and the disruption of the community, but organisers are not backing down and say they'll still meet at the starting point and in the meantime will consider their legal options to appeal the decision.
Leaving court disappointed but not defeated.
We may not have had the judgment in our favour today, but we will continue to fight for freedom and justice.
Their plans for 7,000 protesters to march across Brisbane's Story Bridge on Sunday was blocked by a court after police successfully argued it would be dangerous.
I had, and still do, have serious concerns around maintaining community safety.
Lawyers for the organisers said authorities have the resources to mitigate risk, but police disagreed, pointing to 2 footpaths undergoing urgent repairs due to structural concerns, and comparing it to a march where almost 100,000 protesters shut down the Sydney Harbour Bridge, risking a crowd crush. The judge understood why they chose Brisbane's iconic bridge and accepted the planned protest march is for a serious issue and has significant community support, and the organisers are serious and responsible people. However, she found this did not outweigh the serious safety concerns. The court decision doesn't mean the planned meeting of protesters is unlawful if peaceful, but it does mean they may not be legally protected if they do decide to cross the bridge.
If that involves arrest to prevent those offences from occurring, then that is an option that is certainly open to us.
Would you be prepared to be arrested personally?
I'm prepared to do everything in my power to pressure my government to act in accordance with international law.
Organisers are considering an appeal. Talissa Saganto, ABC News, Brisbane.
A powerful new competition that traces ancient song lines and blends them with classical music will premiere in Darwin this weekend. The work is the latest collaboration between the Darwin Symphony Orchestra and Yalngu songmen, musicians and dancers.
An orchestral odyssey, tens of thousands of years in the making.
This is the beginning, the Manikai, the Bilma and the Iraki is beginning.
This important story from northeast Arnhem Land traces the journey of an ancestral being, Woyel, the sugarbag man.
Manmak, big, this one. First time for me with orchestra.
And it's good for him and good for me as a role model for next generation.
Guided by songman Bunala Marika, composer Netnella Mizrahi followed Woyel's journey across the beaches and mangroves of northeast Arnhem Land in his search for honey. She transferred the sights, rhythms and tones of that journey into a classical score, with traditional instruments at its heart.
We've got the song lines and we've got the wonderful beast of an orchestra, and now we can also create a third thing, which is where do they meet?
She says the song lines aren't hers to fully understand, but this was an invitation to create something new.
I think in that sense it is a language we all share, the arts. And to me that's a profound reconciliation tool.
A new composition setting the stage for great change.
Back home in sports, Prime Minister James Marape this morning meets with the Solomon Islands Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele and his delegates at Royal Port Moresby Golf Club and opened the inaugural One Soul Prime Minister's Golf Challenge. The One Soul Prime Minister's Golf Challenge is an initiative of Prime Minister Marape and will take place biannually, alternating between Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands. The one-day One Soul Prime Minister's Golf Challenge registered over 20 teams, including Prime Minister James Marape and Solomon Islands Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele's teams. The Solomon Islands Prime Minister's team includes Honourable Member Ricky Howenipuela, former Governor General Sir Frank Kabui, and former Secretary to Prime Minister Salana Kalu. The Charity Golf Challenge is a four-person Ambrose format. The tournament is expected to conclude in the afternoon before Solomon Islands delegates depart PNG. The biannual Golf Challenge aims at strengthening diplomatic relations between two Melanesian countries. The tie-day forged in 1978 to share geopolitics and cultural ties. The Solomon Islands Prime Minister Manele and delegates continue their visit today after visiting PNG Governor General Sir Bob Dadai yesterday. This is part of a series of events leading up to PNG's 50th Independence Anniversary celebrations in September. The next Prime Minister's Golf Challenge will be held in the Solomon Islands. And that wraps up our midday news update. Do join us at 6 p.m. for more news and sports. Bye for now.